it's me. I know pretty much everyone in this room. I've babysat some of you, I think. Maybe a few of you. Some of you have known me for a long time, actually, which is crazy. But none of you have known me from the very beginning, which is where I'm going to start today. I have been going to One Life for 6 years, like I said, and although it's been I would not be anywhere else if it was my choice. Like, One Life is the place. The first Wednesday I ever went to One Life, it was probably one of the worst Wednesdays of my life. Which is not, I'm not trying to say that One Life did anything wrong, because they didn't, but I remember stepping into that building, and it was like everything in me was just like, no. Because I had come from a small town in Missouri, which the state of Missouri is about 3.9 times smaller than Texas, and oh, is that Judah?
Mm-hmm. Come in.
I don't want to keep talking over him. Are we gonna clap for him?
Yeah.
There's a seat right here.
Oh, there's a seat up there too. I didn't remember.
I was just talking about how I've been going to One Life for 6 years, and first time I ever went to One Life, it was pretty bad. And I came from a small town. I came from a small youth group. It was about 10 people in the youth group. And when we went to Texas, which at 11 years old, I went from going in big kids with, you guys, big kids, we call it Sunday school, it's the same thing. And I went straight from there right into youth at One Life. So it was like going from this big to this big. It was a crazy culture shock for me, and I was terrified. I walked into One Life and I was just like, nope, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. I had this this hard heart. I was like, I don't want to, this is too much for me. And so I didn't know who was appropriate to approach as well. I was like, who's the cool kids? Who's the approachable kids? Who's the weird kids? What am I getting myself into here? So I was like, I know a solution to get me out of this predicament. I'm just not going to talk to anyone all night. And that's exactly what I did. No one approached me, and I didn't approach anyone. I spent the social hour of youth, which is the first, you guys have it in big kids too, it's the first hour or 30 minutes or whatever, you just spend talking to people. Spent that in the bathroom, locked in a stall, crying to my mom, begging her to pick me up. Which is a little bit pathetic, a little bit embarrassing. She was like, Karenna, put your big britches on. But I was scared that if I went up to someone, they would be someone who's not safe, and that they would laugh at me for being who I am, or they would judge me for trying to talk to them, and I didn't know who was safe. So I was like, I can't talk to anyone because I don't want to risk it. And although time moved on, and I got older and I made friends, and things totally changed, and I love it here now. I wouldn't change it for the world. Still, something in me 6 years later remembers that feeling that I had on my first day. I can't forget it. And it struck a fire in me that was like, I don't want to go a single Wednesday knowing that someone could feel the way that I felt. That could feel that fear, and that oh my gosh, these people are unsafe because they haven't proven themselves to be safe. So I subconsciously made it my mission, and it was like God struck a fire in me and was like, it's your duty now to go out and find those people who are scared and to avoid that feeling that you felt. So it's like, now it's completely different. I could be having the time of my life. I could be chatting up my friends. I'm making them laugh. They're making me laugh. We're all best buddies. But if I see someone in the corner, or someone who's not being talked to, who's alone, who looks like they haven't been here before, doesn't matter who I'm with. I could be with my favorite people in the entire world. But now, as soon as I see that person, it's my job to leave the 99 and go find the one, just like Jesus did, because he did the same for us. And he said, I've done it for you, you go do it for each other. And that fire that he struck in me is the spiritual gift of hospitality, which is so much more than cleaning up your house and being like, guys, come in, oh my gosh, I love being hospitable. It's so much more than that. Being hospitable and having that gift of hospitality is making someone feel at ease and feel comfortable, and proving them wrong about their fear that people are unsafe by being that safe person for them. So we as humans, I'm sure you've all been in a situation where you're like, I'm the only person who doesn't have any friends here. And it doesn't have to be at youth, it can be anywhere. Or at big kids or whatever. And you want to find just at least one person who you can just glue to the whole night, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to find that person. So when you're at youth, when you're at big kids, I encourage you guys, go find that person who looks like they're alone. It doesn't matter who you're with. If you're having a good time, it becomes your duty when you find that person to go and to be with them, not just be like, hi, my name's blah, 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 what's your name? And then be like, okay, I'll clean my hands of it, you know what I mean? You have to like stick with that person. You're sacrificing all of leadership. I'll tell you guys, like 99% of leadership is sacrifice, because our leader that we walk towards is Jesus, and he was the ultimate sacrifice. So now it's our job to sacrifice our own happiness and our own enjoyment and go have that awkward conversation with that new person. And you're not going to charm them into like coming back to one life, and you're not going to be cool enough for them to be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely coming back for that person. You want them to come back because they feel comfortable enough and they feel safe enough that they know that they can go to you next time they come. You know what I mean? So, go out, sacrifice your own awesome conversation that you're having, and go out and find that new person, and don't just have that one little conversation. Talk to them and be like, hey, I was having a great conversation over here with my friends. I encourage you to join us. Be like, you can talk to me anytime you need help with anything. Just make them feel, because that's what they need, They just need someone that's like, oh my gosh, nobody here's gonna kill me. Oh, this is great, That's the thing. We're like, fight or flight. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'm gonna cry. Like, don't let anyone have the experience that some of you may not have ever had, and some of you may have come here and had, but Jesus calls us out to leave what he's given us. He's given us this gift so that we can leave it and go find that person who hasn't experienced that gift and bring them in and say, hey, these are my friends, these are my people, and I want you to join us on this journey. So, yeah.
That's really, really good. I do want to ask a question. What does a person look like who is having those fears?
Do I go up here?
You can.